Thank you so much to Giorgio there, and I can see you're all so active on the chat and helping each other out with information, so you'll probably have to scroll through quite a few messages to read some of that, which is very interesting in parts as well. So thank you very much there to Giorgio from the Italian Space Agency, and now very pleased to welcome somebody in the room, somebody very important indeed. It is Matthias Link, so one of the organizers, of course, of this event, as the interim, and I have to underline, the interim director of ESRIC, and of course he has many other titles as well, but he's here in Luxembourg, in situ, our very own Matthias Link. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Dear Minister Fayo, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of space resource utilization here in the room or joining us online on the platform. Also on behalf of ESRIC, I would like to express a very warm welcome, also on behalf of its partners, LSA, ESA and LIST. A very warm welcome to this edition of the Space Resource Week. So first of all, I'm really proud, also me, that we have attracted more than 1,300 registrations to this event. It clearly shows the growing importance and the great interest that this topic generates. And even though we are still in the middle of a global pandemic, we were able to organize this event and keep the momentum going, and that's the most important. Space Resource Week is now the largest event worldwide, fully dedicated to space resource utilization. Over these 4 half days, 4 afternoons, we will have 13 different sessions with over 115 speakers from all over the world. We will address scientific and technological aspects, but also look at utilization scenarios and possible future markets, discussing business and financial aspects, as well as addressing the legal and regulatory framework, which, as we heard it's of course extremely important. Overall, the objective of this week is to take stock of what's happened the last 2 years, and you will see a lot of things happen, even though we were in this pandemic and still are. And we want to prepare the future for space resources in Europe in cooperation with our international partners. Now, my plan now is to give you a brief overview again on ESRIC, and then to do a couple of announcements. Now, first of all, speaking of ESRIC, I have to speak of spaceresource.ru first. So I recall that that's an initiative that we launched now more than 5 years ago with the aim to contribute to the peaceful exploration and sustainable utilization of space resources for the benefit of humankind. And a lot of things have happened over these past years in Luxembourg, in Europe, and also on a worldwide level. 5 years ago, when we launched spaceresources.ru, space resources was really a niche topic. It was really a topic just known by experts. This has completely changed, and today we find space resource utilization as an integral part of the global exploration roadmap, and more private companies are developing plans in this area. Just to recall, when we launched spaceresources.ru, we started activities in 5 main pillars that really show nicely how broad the challenge is, or the challenges are that we need to address. We need to ensure national and international support. We need to clarify the legal and regulatory framework and start building an international one. We need to promote education, research, and innovation, including in private companies. And we need to develop long-term funding instruments. Now, with the creation of ESRIC, the European Space Resource Innovation Center, we wanted to take the next step in this, and we wanted to create a center of excellence, a center of expertise for scientific, technical, business, and economic aspects related to space resources for human and robotic exploration, but also to create a true in-space economy. And as you know, we have launched ESRIC last November, in November 2020, in cooperation with LSA, with ESA, and with LIST. And we have started implementing ESRIC. We are going full steam ahead. And we are, of course, in discussions also with more public and private partners to join this initiative. Now, ESRIC allows to address both objectives of, sorry for the slides, both objectives of spaceresources.ru and the ESA Space Resource Strategy that was published in May 2019. It has been mentioned by the Director General of ESA. And we do this by planning activities in 4 main areas. First of all, research. Our aim is to establish world-class labs and testing facilities to undertake ground-based research all along the value chain of space resources. In business, we want to develop commercial partnerships with established players from the terrestrial industry, for example, but also with startups, and the ESRIC startup program has been briefly mentioned by the minister. We want to work also in community management. Our aim is to connect the growing space resource community, to encourage dialogue and an exchange of ideas. And you see that Space Resource Week is one of the most important activities in that pillar. And then last but not least, we are developing the knowledge management to provide a source of information on the developments related to space resources on a worldwide level. On research infrastructure, our objective is to host key research infrastructure required to develop new space resource technologies. This infrastructure is and will be accessible also to European industry and academia. This year, we have already started to install several end-to-end demonstrators at ESRIC, allowing to start doing ground-based research specifically on extracting oxygen and metals from regolith. And our plan is to install also a dirty thermal vacuum chamber within the next 2 years to replicate the space environment here on Earth. A study on the key requirements is already running on this at the European Space Agency. Now, in terms of research, ESRIC will develop research along the space resource value chain, focusing on 4 main research areas. First, on prospecting and mining, then processing and supplying, down to manufacturing and construction using space resources. And we want to also, and we have started actually to put in place a team to look at the overall space resource value chain, looking at different end-to-end use cases and analyzing them. Of course, we do not want to do this alone. ESRIC is really partnering with private and public players to address all of this. And some of these research activities, as I said, have already started together with our partners, and the others are being built up. Now, the first announcement that I would like to do today is that we have opened today, we published a job opening for ESRIC's first permanent director, innovation lead, and FNR Pearl Fellow. So basically, we are looking to find the woman or man that will take over my current role so that I can go back to my full-time role at LSA. We are looking for a person that will ideally combine 2 main activities. On one hand, lead the development of ESRIC on its way to become an internationally recognized innovation center, with the objective to reach more than 100 researchers, innovators, and entrepreneurs within 10 years. And this, of course, covers all activities of ESRIC. And on the other hand, we want to fill in the value chain that we have started to build in Luxembourg and in Europe by focusing on the development of a new research team in the area of prospecting and mining, with the goal to identify, excavate, transport, and handle space resources on the lunar surface. Now, this specific research team will receive a funding of 8 million euros for the first 5 years through the Pearl program of the Luxembourg National Research Fund. And this budget, of course, comes on top of the basic funding of ESRIC that we have already secured with its current partners. The process has already started. Our aim is to find someone who would be ready to start at the beginning of next year. And for those of you that are interested by this position, please check out our website right now at esric.lu/career. And note that we have also recently published more positions for lead researchers, postdocs, and PhDs. So a lot of opportunities at ESRIC and LIST. Then a second announcement I would like to make you aware of is that in the knowledge management part of ESRIC, where we want to provide a source of up-to-date information on all kinds of developments related to space resource utilization. So we have started to design an appropriate knowledge management and sharing platform that will allow to serve our community. And in order to better understand the requirements of this community, of our community, we have published a survey also today on our platform that I encourage you to fill in. We would like to understand better what kind of information you expect to find on such a platform and how you would like to interact with that platform. So please try to respond to this survey. It will only take you 5 minutes to do so, and it will greatly help overall our community here in Europe and maybe also worldwide. So check out esric.lu/survey. Then it has been mentioned already, I'm coming to the startup support program of ESRIC. So this program will support early stage startups in the space resource sector to refine their business plan, to attract their first customers and secure their first investments. This program is currently being developed together with the European Space Agency, the Luxembourg Space Agency, and Technoport, which is the leading technology incubator here in Luxembourg. We plan to officially launch that program in the second half of 2021 with an official opening and a first intake of startups. And what I want to say here is that you will be able to learn more already this week in the financing and business session on Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday, not necessarily afternoon for those that join from the US or from Asia. Now the next challenge is on the ESRIC ESA Space Resource Challenge. So I'm very happy to announce that we will be launching the first Robotic Space Resource Challenge together with ESA on the 3rd of May. And it will be announced on the 3rd of May on the ESA OSIP platform. The aim here is to have all sorts of robots to be invited to compete in an attempt to map and characterize resources in an analog terrain, first near ESTEC in 2021, and then in a second phase in Luxembourg in 2022. So while waiting for the final announcement on 3rd of May, you will also be able to learn a bit more about this challenge in the terrestrial and space session on Wednesday. And then the final announcement here, the final announcement is on behalf of ESA, actually. ESA Space Solutions has launched an invitation to tender on the topic of space resources today. The aim of this invitation to tender is to support successful teams in developing products and services that are relevant to industries on Earth today, but have potential for future application in space. And again, you will get more information on this in the terrestrial and space session on Wednesday afternoon. So with that, I will try to conclude. So first of all, I would like to clearly say that the interest in space resource utilization and exploration continues to grow. It will allow deeper space exploration, more science, and the creation of an in-space economy. And ESRIC and its partners are supporting this growth with activities in research, business, community, and knowledge management. Opportunities exist for scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, but also lawyers and investors in Europe, in Luxembourg, and in ESRIC. So please make sure that you answer our survey. Please make sure for those that are interested to check out the open positions, and stay tuned for more information on the Startup Support Program, on the Space Resource Challenge, and on the Space Resource ITT from ESA. Above all, the Space Resource Week is here to let you explore, to discuss and exchange ideas. So I wish all of you interesting presentations and discussions. And before I close, I would like to thank all the persons that have been involved in the organization of this event under very difficult conditions at ESRIC, at LSA, at ESA and LIST. You did really a great job in these unusual times, so thank you very much. And with this, I wish you a very nice Space Resource Week 2021. Thank you.